Yeah. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, mostly gentlemen, NBA heads, fans, your man, your King James, LeBron James, aka Smooth Criminal, has done it again. He has done it again. He has done it again. He has done it again. This is the reason why I said I'm really starting to hate the NBA. It's mainly because of him. You can't tell me that the NBA does not want anyone else in the finals from the Eastern Conference other than Cleveland. It's a moneymaker for Cleveland and for the owner. It keeps the ratings up across the board. And LeBron started this whole thing of, because I don't really want to compete like the great ones did back in the day, I'm just going to build a team. No different than how a lot of these broads out here, they want attention so much that they're willing to desecrate their bodies and basically build their bodies up, get bigger breasts, get a bigger butt, change their face, all that for attention, all that to get on a reality show, all that just to get some idiot athlete, Negro athlete, to have sex with them and eventually become pregnant and have a child and live off that man's money. LeBron, I compare LeBron James to that because that's what he's doing with the NBA. Now, I know some of you Cleveland LeBron lovers are going to hate what I'm going to say right now, but I'm going to say it because it needs to be said. LeBron James has ruined the NBA. Ever since he went to Miami and they formed that team. Now, it wasn't just him, Bosh, and Wade. During the time LeBron was there, he was still able to recruit other people on the team to make the team more superior, just to beat Boston, for one, and to ensure pretty much a cakewalk to the NBA championship. He won two of the he was 2 for 2 in the finals with Miami. First year, he got a rude awakening, and they lost to a very hungry, a very veteran Dallas Maverick team that was actually together for a few seasons. They wasn't just built together at the trading deadline during the season, where they scraped away their whole roster and or almost their whole roster, half of their roster, just to pick up some help. Then this Negro leaves Miami, goes to Cleveland, and recruits yet again. Yo, Kevin Love, and I think Iman Shumpert, Josh Smith. If I said his name wrong, please forgive me. Joe Smith, Josh Smith, whatever. The dude that only shoots threes or whatever. And they already had Kyrie Irving. So, continue. That first year, they lost the finals. The next year, recruited more players on the team. They won. Year 3, recruited more players and lost. Now we're in year 4. And what LeBron do? He recruited more players again in the offseason. You know, your Derrick Roses, the white guy who can shoot threes, look like Ashton Kutcher, however you say his name. Actually, he got him the year before, or whatever. Jeff Green. And then, of course, you know, Kyrie got tired of the whole situation, and they ended up getting Isaiah Thomas and Crowder. This man, this so-called great player of all time, every single year has changed the roster of his team, and this is the guy that y'all say he makes players better. Even though his assist-to-turnover ratio is ugly, even to this day. But he makes all these other players better. That's a lie. Because if you make other players better, why don't you keep the players you have? Not to mention he picked up his buddy D. Wade, who's now back in Miami again. After what happened today. Isaiah Thomas and Shannon Fry, another player he picked up, they're gone. Oh, and let's not forget, they even went after bad knee having Andrew Bogut. This guy always needs, I've never seen a superstar, a marquee superstar, need this much help in the history of watching basketball. I've never seen it. If you get old, I've seen great teams like the Celtics, the Pistons, the Bulls. If you get old, the players start to get old, then they reload through the draft. That's how they did it. Yes, there may have been trade here and there or whatever, but you re-up through the draft. Now, I know y'all gonna say, well, LeBron James ain't really, hit that wall yet. I beg to differ. He had an incredible game last night against the Timberwolves. I'll give him that. But because of the fact LeBron wants to run the team and the head coach and the GM, he gets whatever he wants. He's the only superstar I've ever seen that wants an easy path to the finals every single year. If I'm like the other teams in the Eastern Conference, I'm like, shoot, why would I even want to be in the playoffs? Why don't I just tank like the Philadelphia 76ers did? Just tank every year, build up through the draft until we get a team. Because unfortunately, if we don't get these max players that double up on these teams just to win, we're not going to win. We ain't got a chance. The Cavs reloaded yet again after the players that LeBron James wanted wasn't working out, couldn't get along because you had too many players playing the same positions. And because he can't play off the ball, you can't have a point guard on that team because y'all believe he can make everybody better. That's a lie, man. It's an absolute lie. And Skip Bayless, he said it years ago, and it begs to be brought up again. He is the mentally weakest athlete I've ever seen. Because he don't want to work for it. He wants it easy. And then be looked up as some old great player. And miss me with that, he been to the finals 7 straight years. He had the best freaking team. Like he does again. Because see, it's more about, it's not just about what LeBron want and his ego, it's about dollars and cents. They don't want, the NBA don't want no Toronto, which is a completely better team top to bottom than Cleveland Cavaliers prior to the trade. They don't want no Toronto in the NBA Finals. They want Boston, but the white boy Gordon Hayward, hopefully he'll be back. But even with that, Boston don't have enough on their bench to compete with the Cavaliers. Yeah, they play good defense. Yeah, they play in a good structure. Yes, they got Kyrie. And really, that was supposed to be the team, in my opinion, to go to the finals if it wasn't for Hayward getting injured in the first game of this season. It wasn't supposed to be Cleveland. Because remember, LeBron is leaving. But since Boston lost the All-Star, and hopefully he'll be back before the playoffs, and since Cleveland, the players on the team basically gave up on the leader, LeBron James, and LeBron James gave up on them, Dan Gilbert decided to do whatever he had to do to appease LeBron James yet again. Him and the whoever the slave owner that they got. Oh, I'm sorry, peon GM they got. Now, what you gonna start seeing? Because you got a bunch of fresh legs, athletic players, a guy like Jordan Clarkson, who's not a scrub, who can actually ball. You're gonna start seeing a reminiscent of the same thing that you saw earlier in the season, where the Cavs went on that, they won like 18 out of 19 games or something like that. And the Cavs going to be looking so good. And everybody's going to be praising LeBron. But I'm like, for what? He has ruined the NBA. Why do you think Kevin Durant did what he did and went to Golden State? Even though Golden State was a team that got built through the draft thanks to Mark Jackson, who should be coaching, by the way. But nah. Same thing, Chris Paul went to Houston, who's flying high right now. And they got the best player in the game right now with James Harden. Same thing, Paul George and Carmelo Anthony did going to OKC. Meanwhile, you still got a team in San Antonio called the Spurs, who play team ball, who build through the draft, who has a system, who has a stellar coach. Those days of the NBA are gone. Gone. Now you're just going to have these super teams, and then you got all these other teams, which, if I were them, I would just tank. Because, what's the sense of wanting to play for a championship for? You're not going to get there. Because with the super teams are always going to be better than the actual regular teams. That's going to hurt not just those teams playing wise, but it's also going to hurt economically. Because the only time, unless they got a loyal fan base, the only time people going to want to come to them games to see these other teams, your Bostons, your Clevelands, your Golden States, your OKCs, your Houstons. I hope I didn't miss another team or whatever, but only time they're gonna want to really come to the arena and pack it out if one of those 5 teams come to town. And really, if we can deduce it, there's only really, excuse me, there's only really 3 teams. You see what I'm saying? But y'all gonna say, look, no, you gotta do what you gotta do to win a championship. I know. Go out and play. That's what you do. You make your teammates better. That's what you do. You get better. That's what you do. But nah, that's what I'm telling you, man. I'm really at my wit's end with the NBA because you basically gonna know who's gonna meet who, unless God forbid an injury occurs. But like I said, LeBron James, smooth criminal once again. And everybody's going to be looking at him. And then I almost promise you, he's going to be in the MVP voting. He's going to get back into that. And he might even split it with James Harden. Because if what the Cavaliers has, they start taking off, and LeBron James record more triple doubles, and they have having these young studs, except for George Hill, and they're flowing and winning games. Guarantee you, LeBron James, the smooth criminal, people going to be start putting him up there for MVP. All of your little talking heads, your Stephen A. Smiths, your Skip Baylesses, your Shannon Sharp. Even though I like Shannon Sharp, he's hilarious. But your Nick Wrights, all these people, and most of them, except for Skip and here and there, Stephen A. and some other and a few other pundits, they never tell the truth about LeBron. How he wants it easy. And I can almost see like one of the old school NBA players, like your Patrick Ewings, your Charles Barkleys, your Dominique Wilkins, who had to get it done on their own, and a host of other great ones. Like, man, and this is messed up. And don't even come at me with that crap like, oh, Boston is the one who originated when they made the big 3. Man, please. They originate nothing. They got cats at the Kevin Garnett and Ray Allen when they were heading towards the backside of their careers. When they was in their early to mid 30s. What are you talking about? Same thing Charles Barkley did. Same thing Clyde Drexler did. They wasn't in their prime. So miss me with that. But this is the NBA. Oh, and y'all still love that game. I'm telling you. The NBA, they want LeBron James in the finals. They don't want no Toronto. If Gordon Hayward can get healthy, maybe Boston, and that's only because it's a historic franchise. But as long as that crybaby Negro, LBJ, smooth criminal, is still in the league, they want him in the finals. And guess what? I don't believe he's leaving Cleveland. He ain't going to LA. He gonna stay in Cleveland. He's going to stay in Cleveland. You mark my words. He's going to stay in Cleveland. Not because of Dan Gilbert. It's because of the fact eventually they're going to award LeBron James another title. Mark my words. NBA has a way of doing certain things to make sure certain players, get exalted. But you ain't hear that from me though. Anyway, peace.